Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to the 6 News Roundup. So we'll round up all the Rainbow Six Siege news for the last week or so, and it has been a very busy week. We're going to test out some of the changes with the balancing patch as well that is currently on the test server. So first up, let's start with a rundown of everything that's been happening. So we've had a brand new patch which actually brought Clash back. So basically she's been on holiday for the whole Christmas period, so she is now back, and that brought a bunch of bug fixes too. And then I went from having almost no news to cover to making, I think, at least one video per day for at least the last week. And we got some big bombshells. So we found out details about the year 5 pass, and that it's only going to have 6 operators in year 5 and not the usual 8 that we're used to. So this was a really big bombshell. So far there actually hasn't been an official announcement, and the year 5 pass is not yet on sale. But it looks like this is legitimate and this is what will be happening. I think if it was incorrect information, Ubisoft would have already said by now. So I think we're just waiting for it to officially be announced. And yeah, big surprise. Gonna mean less Mythbuster episodes on my main channel. But overall, I'm hoping what it'll do is increase the quality of operators every year. And we'll see if that ends up actually playing out that way. Then the Road to SI event showed up along with the Battle Pass, so both of those things finally appeared, and we are now enjoying them and seeing how we all, get on with them. And unfortunately, Siege is looking very monetized right now. I don't like the fact we have a Battle Pass, a year pass, all of that stuff. And I'm guessing like paid packs and stuff will still be around as well. But that wasn't the end of the news. We then had the mid-season balancing, which is now gone onto the test server. The biggest kind of takeaways from this was Maestro loses his ACOG and Ela's Recoil is getting changed. And then I also did some additional videos, so there's actually some official Rainbow Six Siege shooting range and obstacle course concept art that may never appear in the game, but it's amazing to see that the devs are looking at that, so maybe there actually is a chance that one day it will show up. I also did a video on the Sieges being simulated, so we found out more from the event of how Siege simulates combat in the story side of things. So let's actually move on from all those previous videos I've made, and we'll actually talk about some new stuff. So I've been testing out the new changes on the test server. The first one we're going to go over is the new controller recoil for Ela's SMG. Now, of course, with the test server and this being the first patch of the test server for this mid-season, it's probably going to change quite a lot, but I wanted to jump in and test the controller recoil with Ela's SMG, and I was amazed to find that it was insanely good. Like, basically it's a launch version of Ela recoil on controller, which is, I think, far too good. But this might, of course, fulfill a lot of dreams of players out there that would love to have a big magazined SMG with a nice fire rate that has pretty controllable recoil. And certainly right now in the test server, it is insanely good. I always get asked as well, how do I play the test server on console? And I don't, I play it on PC, and I plug a controller in and then use the controller recoil to test these different things. So yeah, pretty amazing. And like I say, I think the controller one's a little bit too good. The way the patch notes talk about it, it's supposed to have easy recoil for the first 16 rounds, or at least easier, and then after that it should get more difficult if you're holding the trigger down. Whereas in my testing, it looked like it was pretty much perfect. Like, if you don't control it at all, it's a perfectly straight line, and if you do control it, it's very, very easy to put all your shots on target. And for an SMG that has a 40 round mag, that is insanely good for pre-firing corners and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make it to live, but we'll see, I guess. Another significant change is Ying's. Now, visually, it's not so easy to see the differences. We first of all actually have the ability to see the Candela through walls now. Now, the way I kind of interpreted it when I first read the patch notes is that I thought when I came to throw it, that maybe it would show a path of how the thing was going to go and where it detonates, so that I can bounce it off corners and put it bang on target to where I wanted it to be. But unfortunately, that's not the case. It simply shows an outline around the Candela so that you can see it through walls as it moves around and then detonates. It's exactly the same effect as Gridlock's tracks. When they deploy, that you can actually see them through the wall deploying, which of course is very handy just to know how it's deploying, where it's deploying, and filling up the area. Whereas this is also kind of the same thing. You can then visually see it and get an idea of where it's going off, but don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. The thing that will make a big difference though is how it now detonates. So it detonates quicker, as in when it goes off, all the flashes go off at a far quicker rate than they did previously. So that means you should be able to walk into that room and have a more consistent feeling that everyone's flashed if they're in there at the same time. And then also a lot of them detonate at a higher altitude, so that hopefully there won't be as easy ways to just hide from the flashes, and that way more people will get flashed, and hopefully it'll be more consistent. I'm probably not going to be picking Ying any more than I already do, which is 0 right now, and I can't see this making a big difference to me. But for Ying players out there, I'd love to know if you plan to play Ying even more, or if this is exactly what you were looking for in a kind of Ying improvement. Now, another thing I want to go over is the changes to Echo. So in my initial video on the other channel, just kind of hitting the main points about the patch notes, the Echo one was really interesting, but I felt like it wasn't going to change much for Echo. But as I've thought about it more, I've realized that it's not really much of an Echo change. It's much more of a Dokkaebi change. Like, of course, if Dokkaebi's not on the team, this change to Echo means nothing. But if Dokkaebi's on the enemy team, then it means everything. And it's a huge improvement for Dokkaebi, I think, because she can now hack into the cameras and then access the Echo drones, which are really handy because they're invisible. So even defenders will have a hard time figuring out where they are if they're not having good communication with Echo. And of course, it's more than likely that those drones are on the sites themselves, which gives them incredible vision for the attackers to be able to look around without any problems whatsoever. And it's also that Echo doesn't have to do anything wrong. Like, you can have one player on your team who is just a bit of a idiot and gets himself killed right at the start of the game. He tries to do a run out or something, and Dokkaebi can hack right into the cameras right there and then, and that's it. Echo's ability to use those drones to help his team is now greatly reduced. And of course, the attackers now know exactly where those drones are, so it'll be far easier for them to be taken out. So yeah, I was thinking about it. This is like a major buff for Dokkaebi. It's huge. Now, of course, you need Echo to be on our team, but still, either way, if you're playing Dokkaebi a lot, this is going to be really powerful for you. And then getting that intel from those drones is just going to be sweet. So that was just a development of my thought process. And yeah, I think it's going to be huge for Dokkaebi. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And it's also possible that this is just the first wave of balancing changes. There might be more to follow in future patches. And I expect this is going to be on the test server for 1 to 2 weeks. So this patch might well come out this month. And of course, just a few weeks after that is going to be the reveal for the next season. And of course, the first season of Year 5. But anyway, let's jump back to the Road to SI event and the Battle Pass. So both of these have now turned up. And it sounds like people are very split right down the middle when it comes to both of these things. So the event, some people love it, some people hate it. Like, some people absolutely love the hell out of that map, which I am one of, and some people absolutely hate it. And overall, some people love the event, some people hate the event. And in the Battle Pass, of course, people love that and hate it as well. So it's very controversial for sure. I am glad that this time the event is not just at the weekends, even though they do say in other advertisements for it that it is the weekend. It runs from Thursday to Sunday, which is, I think, far better than it was last year. So really happy with that. And here's the actual schedule. If you haven't seen it already, this is the schedule of events and how you'll be able to play it for a while. I do like the map as well. It's kind of, to me, it looks great and I really enjoy it. And I kind of like the idea that they've squished 2 maps together. So half of it's Oregon and half of it is Hereford. And they've squashed both of those maps together to make a map that they say is more familiar to players so that they can learn it faster, which to me didn't work out that way. I got lost for a very long time, and I think it was just because I was like, oh yeah, this is this is Oregon right here, and then I'd walk through a door and I was like, wait, now I'm in Hereford, but then the doors are in different places, and it's like just confusing the hell out of me. So I don't think it made me learn it that much faster, but I have been having a lot of fun playing it, and I'm going to miss it when it's gone. I'm assuming it's going to go away and they're not going to see the map again until next year. The actual story behind this map is that it's a modular design that Rainbow can reconfigure whenever they want. So I'm assuming that next year it will return, but it'll be a different version of the map with probably 2 different maps combined together to make a new event. But be hopefully, well, I'm guessing roughly the same. But who knows, I guess. There's also the potential that there will be surprises every week where they're going to be doing something a little bit different with the game mode. But right now, they've been very quiet on exactly how that's going to work out. They just say that there will be some stuff that shows up each week that'll make it a little bit different. But I don't know if that's changes to the game mode or if it's something else. It'd be kind of cool to see what happens. But right now, who knows? But anyway, guys, that's you caught up with all the Rainbow Six Siege news for this week. It should be relatively quiet for the next couple of weeks as we just have this event ongoing. We will get some more balancing changes. We'll probably see that patch develop and then be released. And from now on, it should be quiet, and then it'll start to build up for the 6 Invitationals after that. And of course, the new season reveal and anything else that they're planning to show off. And of course, we'll have the CGI for that as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.